This is the cover of the textbook Chemistry in Context. Though it's not required, you will find that I use the problems from this book, and if you choose to buy it, you can buy any edition. This is the 9th edition. There's also an ebook option. So the title of the course is Chem 9, Everyday Chemistry, and the title of the book is Chemistry in Context. This course fulfills the general ed requirement for a lab science, and you will learn some basic principles about working in a laboratory, including safe handling of chemicals and the proper use of lab equipment. We'll be going over this in videos as well as with some at-home experiments. We will be relating these chemical principles to what's going on in the world right now with a focus on sustainability and environmental issues. Let's start by defining chemistry, which is the study of matter and the changes it undergoes. So we are studying matter. I bet you didn't know that when you signed up, but we are studying matter, and this is everything in the universe. Matter is everything in the universe that's made out of atoms, which is basically everything you can see on the macroscopic level, like your computer, your smartphone, if you have that right in front of you, the table you're sitting at, your chair you're sitting on, and then even things you can't see, like the air in the room. So that's everything that you can see and not see except for energy. So there's another definition of matter, which is that matter, which is made out of atoms, is anything that has mass and occupies space. Occupying space, that's the definition of volume. So all of that applies to the table, the chair, your computer, your smartphone. They all have matter and they all occupy space. So if you have mass and you have volume, which is occupying space, you are matter and you do matter. So chemistry in context. So taking something in context is to put it in its place. And so we're going to connect everyday problems to their foundations in chemistry. Specifically, we're going to connect everyday problems like climate change or recycling. We're going to connect this to chemical reactions, which are the changes that matter undergoes is chemical reactions. So we are going to take a lot of big topics and try to understand the chemistry behind them. They all have in common sustainability. Sustainability is really the ultimate context. It's the biggest picture of all, in that all these issues, climate change, COVID, wildfires, air pollution, if we can understand the chemistry behind these issues, then we can understand the world and make it more sustainable and make sustainability and sustainable practices. The definition is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future to come. So we need to use the given resources on Earth, the land, the water, the air, without trashing it for future use. And how? Well, we'll talk about a lot of these ways, but the easiest is to use less and conserve what we have. Minimizing and preventing waste when we do use our resources, that's helpful as well. And this is because we're on a path that is not sustainable. And so sustainability not only is the ultimate context, but it's also the ultimate challenge of our time. And sustainability, I believe, can be achieved with a better understanding of how chemistry and chemical reactions play a role in environmental, social, and economic issues. For an action, activity, or process to be sustainable, and this could be large scale or small scale, the action, activity, or process has to meet these three aspects of sustainability, which are environmental, and that is pollution prevention and taking care of our natural resources and the use of those natural resources to minimize and prevent waste. There's also social. Social is better quality of life for all of society. And economic, and that is fair income distribution. That's fair distribution of those resources. Usually it has to do with money. So each has its individual definition, but to be sustainable means that all three of these criteria must be met. And so we could look at it like this, that a sustainable action, activity, or process has to have equal social, environmental, and economic backing it up. Or another way to look at it is that the social is people, okay, and environmental is the planet. And then economic is profit. So people, planet, and profit. And where the three intersect, only when those three intersect, when we're using our natural resources properly, when there's a better quality of life for society, and when there's a fair distribution of resources, now we're talking about a sustainable process. The problem is that the economic in our standard systems, and this is governments and countries all over the world, have a focus on the profit, so that's economic. So you can see by focusing only on profits and disregarding the environmental and the social, this is not sustainable, and that is the problem with the world we're living in now.